What's the end of a sentence?
We can go.
Wes and Grant.
We can
Okay, put your tracking finger on the title. And let's read the title together. We can go. Picture by heart word go. Good job. Now turn the page. There's our title page. Open it to the next page and touch the first letter in that sentence on page number 2. Aaron, do you want to try to read that one? Has this picture right here. Has a skateboard. A skateboard.
go.
Even though I'm not reading, I'm using my tracking finger to follow along. So Drake, do you want to read this sentence or do you want me to read it? You want to try that one? Okay, turn the page and Scott can read this one with the bus. There's a period because that's the end of our sentence. Hi, I'm Rachel Hancock, and this is my third lesson and reflection. The first question says, discuss how you planned for a high level of student engagement and the actual level of student engagement or disengagement you perceived during the lesson. This was during our daily 5, and so we have small groups, about 4 or 5 students, and so I planned for a very high level of engagement because it is such a small group. I planned for everyone to be involved in our activity. And that's basically what I saw from the day that I recorded. The 2 groups that I chose to kind of focus on in my video had a high level of engagement. They were participating, they were reading along, or if they weren't reading, they were following along. And we did an activity and kind of had a little group discussion. So I would say they were very engaged in our activity. The second question says, discuss any challenges that arose related to student engagement and how you handled those. I would say something that does happen during daily 5 at times, there's a lot going on. So we have students rotating, we have students that'll come up and come try to ask me questions or ask me for help. So it does kind of break that focus with my students that are in my group. And, each group only has about 10 minutes per session. So, I hate to spend the whole time trying to get those students engaged again or, refocused. So that's one problem I do have at times. It just kind of varies. But that is a common issue is that, a student will come up to me and need my help and I have to stop what I'm doing and help them and then have to come back and re-engage my group. Another issue, it just kind of depends. The higher ability groups are usually pretty engaged and active in what we're doing, but some of the, I found, our 2 lower ability groups have a harder time focusing. So it's harder for me, those are the 2 more challenging groups to keep them engaged because they do kind of lose focus. There's a lot going on, so they're watching other kids. So I really do have to plan activities that will fully engage those students. So those are probably a couple of maybe, I don't want to call them issues, but maybe, those are a couple problems we might have as far as maintaining that student engagement level during daily 5. And I guess I should talk about how I kind of handle that. So right now it's, I do, if there's a student that needs my help, sometimes I'll try to direct them to my cooperating teacher because she's kind of floating around. So I have a small group and she kind of floats around on the other groups just to kind of help. So if a student comes up to me, sometimes I'll just redirect them and I'll say, please ask Mrs. Blank. And, please go ask her for help because I'm working with this group right now. So that's something I try to do is kind of redirect those students. And as far as handling, my lower ability groups and keeping them engaged, I just try to constantly keep them going, keep our activities moving because they do lose focus. Let's see, question 3 says, discuss how you will change your approach in future lessons based on what you learned from this teaching experience. I would say that I'd probably try to come up with some more engaging activities. This particular lesson, we were focused on our reading topic, which was places we can go, and our new by heart word, which is our sight word for the week, was go. So we're really focused on, this one's Going by Cab. This was kind of the harder book, so the higher level group that I had read this book, and then this is kind of the lower book, and this is We Can Go. So we kind of focused on keeping with what's going on in our reading activities. So this is kind of an enrichment. But for future lessons, this was just kind of one particular day. But in future lessons, I would probably try to come up with some maybe games to build on our reading topic, some other kind of fun things, because the children, the kids really do enjoy reading aloud, and it is a good practice for them. And I do like to hear that in the small group, because we read aloud, we kind of choral read during our core reading in the morning, but you can't really hear everybody. So it is kind of nice to give them time to kind of just hear those small groups. But for future, I would probably say, I would want to plan more fun, engaging games and things like that that'll keep their attention. Overall, I think the lesson went pretty well. It is always hard with students of probably of any age, but especially kindergarten, for them to not want to look at the camera. And I was kind of docked a couple points last time for not showing any students at all. And so this time I really tried to, I had the camera focused at me and had the back of the students' heads. And I even told, we had a talk before I started filming, and I said, the camera is here. I'm going to be recording because I'm a student as well, and so this is my homework. I tried to put it in a way that they would understand, and explain to them that there was a camera. I let them make a short video and wave, and then said, okay, now it's time for you to focus on our lesson. And we still had some students that wanted to turn around. So I went back through, and you can kind of see sides of student faces and things in the video, and so that's kind of an issue. But overall, the lesson itself went well, and the students were fully engaged, which was the point of this activity. So, all right, thank you.
I go to this table.
Okay, Scott's turn. Okay, Bus, and go. And the next one. Okay, Wes, do you want to read this one? There's a picture of a train. You want to try to read that? Well, we're going in a circle. So Wes, can you do that one? Nice job. Grant's turn. Aaron, you got to read the first page. We're going in a circle. It hasn't come back to you yet, has it? I'm sorry, Grant, read that again.
I'm going to. No.
A boat can go. Okay, there's one more page. Aaron, can you read that one? There's an exclamation point. So they're excited when they say that sentence. Okay, hand me your book. Scott, I want you to take your book back, and I want you to hand it to me nicely, because is it safe when we throw our books?
I love flowing.
We're not throwing our books. Thank you for handing it. Okay, where was a place that they could go? The train, the airplane, Wes, the train, Grant, Drake. Remember what I said? Okay, you're going to get your black marker out of your black basket.
I feel it stink.
No, we're not getting one out of there. We're getting it out of our black basket. Here's your board. Scott, here's your board. Okay, on on the line at the bottom, you're writing I can go. On this side, you're writing I can go, and you're going to finish the sentence. So you're writing I. Now we're writing our by heart word, new by heart word, go.
I'm gonna read that for me.
Okay, so right your next word is can. Remember to leave a meatball space. So Drake's writing can. What letter does can start with? Crunch, crunch. C. That's our new letter this week. Good job. So now you get to write where you can go. So where's the place that you can go? So you get to draw a picture. You can use your kid writing to finish that sentence. Right? Do your very best to look at the book to see at a picture. Here, why don't you look at this picture from the book? Draw your airplane. Here, move it up here. So what does our sentence start with? An I? Is it a lowercase I or a capital I? Is it a capital I or a lowercase I? What do we end our sentence with?
A C.
What do we end it with?
I can go.
Good job, Wes. Right? Very nice.
That's a feeling. I'm in the
Perfect. So where's the place that you can go on an airplane?
I went to Idaho.
You went to
Idaho. I went to
Did you go on an airplane there?
Yeah, there's Grandma. To Mexico.
You went to Mexico?
I want to go to Japan.
Japan would be very neat.
Yeah, I took it a dino charge toy from Japan.
Very neat.
I was in an airplane.
Okay, Drake, keep writing. You need to finish your sentence.
I'm going back to wood.
Great, where's the place that you can go on a plane? Alaska? I bet it's cold in Alaska.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone that lives there? We're talking about places that we can go. I'm going to ring the bell soon, okay? Okay, Casey?
What about all my friends?
Okay, I'm going to give you one more minute and then it's time for us to switch, okay?
Wow, the bell.
Yes, you can ring the bell.
I
And Holden, can you pass me around? Oh, here, I'll give you another one. Keep it, Aubrey. Keep it, and then Holden has one here, and then I'll have mine. Oops. Okay, touch the title with your pointer finger. This is my tracking finger.
Can we go straight?
We'll start this way and go around in a circle.
No, I want it to be last.
I know you like to be last, but we're going this way. Okay. So it's called going.
But this is my
Let's look at the- It's called Going by Cab.
I was pointing my finger and moving it away.
Because we've been talking about places we can go. So Zachary, I don't want you under the table. So scoot up just a little bit, okay? Scoot up just a little bit. So you're still part of our group. Okay, so touch your tracking finger. Even if you're not the reader, you're still following along. And Layla's reading the first page. This is a hard book. This is a hard one, but you guys are smarties, so that's why I chose this book, okay? Cabs. I can read it with you. Cabs. Door. Nice job. Zachary's turn. Beach, good job. You used the picture to kind of help you figure out what the story was talking about. Okay, Aubrey, your turn. We turned the page, so now we're at the picture here. Just like this. Good job. Cabs. Good job. Okay, Brett, can you read the next page? Hard. This is a hard part, so it's okay if you need some help. Okay, Holden's turn. You turn the page, Holden. Vet. See, they have a cat and a dog. They're going to the vet. Good job. That's called tracking.
Okay, you turn this down.
I'll read this one. Cabs go to the. What is that? Where are they? Where do you think they are? Look at the picture.
Oh, movie video.
Good
Can I
job.
read the last page?
Layla, you can read the last one.
How about we do it all together? Can we do it all together?
Well, how about since we all get to read one page, we'll read this last one together. So we're on the last page. Go to the game. See, they're at a stadium. Some people have on baseball hats. Okay, hold on to your book for a second. Okay, so where are some places that the Cavs went? Where did they go,
To the
Aubrey?
football game.
To the
Football
vet?
game.
Where else did they go, Layla?
The football game.
To a football game? You think that was a football? Look here in this picture. There's a boy with the bat. Or man with the bat. I think they're at a baseball game. But they're at a game, you're right. Just a little bit. Zachary, where else did they go? The theater. Brett, do you remember where they went? Where did they go?
I got one. A zoo.
Let's let Brett have a turn. Brett, where are these places? The zoo. Holden, where else did they go? The park. You're going to be getting your blackboard markers. Please don't get under the table because now you're moving the table. Hold on just a second, Zachary. What did I say?
Oh.
So, I have to stop the video.